I thought it was better than yesterday. I thought it was some pretty good pace and a little bit of physicality, and we're starting to see some things that we're asking them to do, whether it be on line rushes for. I still like to see us attack the net, shoot a little bit more, but it's still kind of finding itself. It's settling down. There's some bouncing pucks and guys finding their hands. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I thought I think Kevin was on for the one goal against there, but other than that, I thought he was skating a little bit more dominant in the second half and moving the puck, and same as Kaiser. It was good to see. Taylor Hall playing physical in the corners to get more winning pucks back, not running guys over type of thing. But he just looks like he's dialed right in to get ready for a good start.
Where's the line for you with the physicality, like Doc and Murphy were going ahead a little bit?
Yeah.
Phillips.
Yeah, no, that's fine, and you look around the league, that's every training camp's talking about that. You need that internal battle, and you got to be good teammates, good professionals, knowing why we're doing this. And at the end, you have a little chuckle if someone got knocked on their butt, and have a little fun with it after. And it just brings in an internal competitiveness, so we're not shocked in the first exhibition game and then we're behind chasing it. I think that we got to get ahead of it, and I think that's a good job where we're raising it today. And I think Monday we'll do a scrimmage again. We might even go 40 minutes, 35-40, and the guys seem to like it, and we're kind of liking seeing what we're doing and implementing every day. We're showing them some systems in different areas and telling them, okay, we saw some of the things yesterday that we showed you that you executed, or we showed a few clips because we taped the scrimmages or not, and we want you to continue to get better at that, but now we're going to add this. So we're just kind of adding, instead of the first day going through 3 zones of systems, because there's lots of guys here. We're counting on our veterans, but also the new veterans coming in, and having a few conversations with them and showing the video to them on their own before and stuff like that helps.
Has Phillips looked more? It seems like he's tried to be more physical.
Yeah, I think so. You don't want to go running out of your position. I think that's the key. I think he's letting it come to him, and that's what you got to do. And I thought even Nolan Allen had a better day today, where it played on the inside. So I don't know if it was the first day we gave a few breakaways up through the middle. I think that's getting guys back dialed into the the NHL game and the system. Things happen fast, and playing from the inside out. And I think on the second session on the other side, Nolan Allen had a really textbook line rush against 3-on-2. He puts a stick here, he makes the guy go to the outside, then he goes and he gets a stick on the puck. He didn't even really have to play physical, but if you don't get the stick on the puck, then you go through the body. So I think guys are getting more comfortable. We're having a chance to talk to them after a couple scrimmages, and they're now trying implementing it into their game. So that's good.
Have you made any adjustments to the system this year?
Not yet. I think the one thing that we showed from last year, we had a couple. We tried to talk about it near the end of the year to add it. Was anytime let's say the puck's clogged up on the hash mark and we're whacking it away, we always try to use kind of a kickback, use the weak side of the ice. But when we do that, we'll have someone take off. If we have full control, we're giving them the green light to go, and I think we saw that a couple times in the scrimmage, and we almost saw it yesterday when they called it an offside. It looked like an icing on AA when Seth shot it off the end wall, and you saw a goal pretty much did in the Leafs in the playoffs when they did it for Pasternak, and things like that. We got to be ready for that. I think talking about it is great, showing our players so we're ready for other teams that are going to. A lot of teams do that. I think Marner does it a lot in Toronto. And obviously Pasternak, I've seen it many times. And I think for us to put it into our game plan, I think Kreider does it in New York as well. So we got to be ready for that. On a lot of teams are starting to go to that stretch and blow and look for a long bomb and catch the team sleeping. We got to make sure we're always ready for it, but also put that into our game plan.
Terry Biden said he prides himself on his two-way game, but he had mentioned that his offensive side can still be hiding. How much are you hoping to unlock that part of it as you guys try to see an uptick in goals?
Yeah, I think once we get into the games, it'd be nice to move these guys around a little bit. I just want to give them a few days just to get into it and have some communication with the lines and not changed them too much yet, but I think maybe Monday we'll start to look at that, and if not, then Tuesday to get ready for the game Wednesday, and see where we can, use him and think where he can add to his game. And when you ask a player that, especially that's really worked on his two-way game over the last few years, especially the way Carolina plays, I think when you think that you're not tapped out yet on your offensive ability, I think that's going to be fun to kind of work with and see where we can go with that. Obviously in the power plays, he's calm, he's got a good panic point, especially on the half wall, and he makes good decisions. It's not a lot of high risk decisions. He knows when the seam is there and he hits it. But for guys like that, I want to promote shooting the puck more. Connor, I'd like to see him shoot the puck a little more. I think if you shoot the puck more, it's going to open up more abilities to get second chances, goals, and just have maybe more options later in the game when they have to honor you if you're shooting the puck early. And let's say we have success and score, people start lining up and shrinking their defense, and I think that's when we can start to expand in the O-zone, and guys like Teravainen will see that and benefit from it.
Being able to tinker with different looks during training camp, does that allow you to, you can go to Bedard and Kurashev at any point because they've already played with each other, just allowing different looks to build that.
Yeah, that helps. Some guys coming back, right, and that had success, and it's always easy to go back to Nick and Dickinson to be a reliable line, but if we need some help other places, it's easy to separate them and even put them back for a crucial series of shifts in a game and know that it's just going to be like that, and they have some chemistry and responsibility together. And same with Kershey and Connor, even Nick at times. Like if we need maybe a little bit more net presence and things aren't clicking and we want to try Bertuzzi somewhere else, maybe we need a little more net presence on another line with a Teravainen. Maybe that would be a good fit. So we'll tinker and see if we, any light switches flick on.
I heard that Connor worked on winning puck battles a little bit more this summer, and have you noticed that he's a little more engaged?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even today I saw him right in there. He seems very engaged, that he wants to be at the start of every drill. He's really showing some initiative that he wants it, and not that he didn't last year. He's just a year older and learning from guys like Nick and Dickinson and guys like that play the right way all the time, and it's gonna be even better now that we have even more of those guys here. But absolutely, I've seen it, and he'll go in there, and he's not going to go in and knock over a guy like Vlasic, but he's got to be smart about it. But he's being like, I don't know how you say it, he's being like more like a pest, like on the forecheck with his stick and stealing pucks, kind of like what he did in certain games, like the special goal he scored in Florida, where he came in and stripped a guy and then just made a quick move to the net, and things like that are, those two games I think in Tampa and Florida last year were, back-to-back games that were probably two of his better too, if you looked at the whole season, and that's the way he played in those games. I remember stripping Kucherov at center ice with his stick, and they go right back in. It got to Nick, and a nice play to him at the net, and a fortunate bounce. But it's all about pestering the puck and getting it back, and not worrying about having a 2 minute. You don't need to be out there for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Go and buzzsaw, get off, and if you're going that game, we'll get you back out there, even if it's with other people.
How are you looking at Joey Anderson? I know he sort of knows where he's at.
Yep.
And then at the other hand, he had the year that he had last year, and I felt like he earned his spot. But numbers wise, it seems like he's still fighting for it. What are your kind of thoughts on him?
Yeah. Just like lots of other guys, just fighting for a position in a camp. And like I said, I think it was yesterday, that those guys will show us, who wants it more and who deserves it more, and that's who we're going to start off the season with. So Joey's always just a guy, sometimes not flashy, but that's a good thing, because you're like, oh, he never one mistake. He always makes good puck decisions, and he's a strong guy. He makes good decisions. He's not afraid to shoot the puck when it's time to shoot the puck too. So, he played really well for us at times, both probably the second half of the last two seasons that I've been here. And good professional, always great to have around. That's why I think one of the first guys signed back last summer was him.
Nazar has speed. What are you seeing from him in other areas of the
Yeah, good, and some patience and some ability to make small plays in little areas. Like he's good. He's kind of He's got some speed to have a good line rush opportunity, but he also is kind of greasy, when he's just in a bit of, he's not afraid to play in through traffic. I think, he's going to have to learn when and where he can do that in this league with a bigger strength that he's going to be playing against. And I think Connor went through that last year and understands that when things close in on you, you have to move the puck and then move your body and you get it back. And I think that's where he's going to really thrive, because he likes to be in on the forecheck and he likes to be down low in the D zone. So that's a lot of skating. He's going to have to take short shifts as well. And then same thing, if he's a fresh guy, throw him out on the wing somewhere or at center on another line, he can do that. But we'll have to see how he does in the real games. These are the scrimmages, and usually when you get to the first few exhibition games, it's a step up, and then by the time you get to the last few, it's usually almost full NHL rosters, and that's when you really can see what people can do at this time, at this level.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, just mention how the players and management like the scrimmages. Is that at the cost of certain drills that you would be doing?
Not really. I think the players just like the flow of it. And what we did is last year when we did scrimmages, I think we had 4 lines, maybe 7D, and I think it gets slow. There's a lot of waiting on the bench, where we got 3 lines and 5D that really gets it moving, and it gets you in game shape. So, I think it's really valuable that we can do that, and we're trying to take the practice group and maybe drill in a little bit more home, and each one of those teams got 1 day of that this week, and I think that's good. And then Monday we'll have a good scrimmage, and we'll see from there. We'll probably cut back on the scrimmage, because Tuesday we'll probably practice the first group in the morning that's going to play the next day, pretty close to it, and then we'll have a second practice, and we'll see if we still have bodies that we need a third. But we'll start getting into game mode and really drilling home systems and making sure people understand. And we'll start on Monday, maybe in the scrimmages, even doing the odd. If we add some time, we might do some power play and penalty killing time.
Kind of a random question. I was talking to TJ Brody, and he mentioned how he's noticed kind of skating styles change, about how it used to be more of a glide, and now players are almost like kind of jumping, so your skates are on the ice less.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Is that something that you've seen players have to kind of adjust?
There might be more players that do that now, but I think there's still guys that have their own unique style, and some guys just have a great glide, and it doesn't look like they're exerting so much extra effort. They just glide and go, and even like a Vlasic, I know he's 6'6" or 7" or whatever he is. He takes 2 strides and he separates it. Like, he just got a great glide and a good stride, and it might be a little easier for a guy that big than a guy 5'10", but I think that's just a lot the way the game's gone. There's a lot of individual skills, coaching, and I think working on learning how to use edges and cutting and crossing over. But when you do skate like that, you burn a lot of energy, so it's more imperative to take those short shifts. Otherwise, there's some guys that probably can handle longer shifts just because they can be more efficient, and it keeps their their lung capacity at a lower level, because they're not like buzzsawing like this and kind of holding their breath at times when they're in a battle. But I don't know if I've noticed a change. Maybe there might be some more players going that way, especially the younger ones.
Have you noticed Brody skating like that, or
Not really. I think he's a pretty efficient player. I think playing in Toronto might have done that to him, like the way they play. And I think he was the last man back there by himself a lot of the time. So it probably makes you feel a little bit scrambly. But here we want to try and keep 5 guys playing together in all 3 zones and helping each other out, and hopefully that can calm him down. He's a guy that doesn't say much out there, but he's a good veteran. He makes good plays. He had just a subtle, really nice little pass across the ice by the penalty box in the first session, and it just makes everything easier. When he wasn't even looking, he just knows where it's going before he gets it. And we're trying to talk to some of the younger defensemen like Ty Henry out there to watch Martinez on the 2-on-1s and watch. So instead of us trying to explain the technical part of it, which we do, maybe the next time we go to him, we just saw Martinez have a great 2-on-1, and he cut it off, and very efficient and got the puck moving the other way. Watch him, and this is why, and go back to him, revisit why, and see what he saw as well.
Do you know when the first cuts will be?
I don't know, and I would assume once we get at the latest, probably by Wednesday is our first game, and we'll have plans on who's going to play the games. We'll start mapping out, the veteran guys. We're not going to play them in all the games, and some guys who's battling for what, we're going to have to make sure they have an opportunity to play in, 4, 5, and 6 games, just to show us what they got, to make sure we make the right decision, but to give them the opportunity to show us that.